special about UCLA. It's a great university.
A magic place for public education.
It's a place where you can do and be anything.
Everyone can speak from their perspective.
In the 20 years that I've been here, I have never had any doors shut.
You could jump from econ to archaeology to philosophy and know that you're going to get the bang for your buck.
UCLA definitely is a place that encourages us to go beyond the disciplinary boundaries.
And it doesn't hurt that the sun shines like 312 days a year. You know, that helps.
At any point in time, there's probably at least 5,000 different research projects going on campus.
If we want to do nanotechnology, we have to, forget about the concept physics is physics, chemistry is chemistry. So we need a hybrid type of art-science approach.
We have one of the top-ranked medical centers in the world. I think we're making history every day. The most esoteric of diseases to the most common of medical problems can be treated under one roof.
You have truly a diverse, technologically sophisticated research university that's in the heart of a global world city. That's exciting.
UCLA was the first university to reach 100 NCAA national championships. You are part of this Bruin family and this Bruin community. Being a student athlete at UCLA has prepared me for the future. I'll be excited to look back 20 years and say I was a part of that, and I still am a part of it. Coming into a tradition that already produced accomplished people such as Jackie Robinson, Coach John Wooden, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, it's made you want to perform that much better and carry on the legacy.
When there's a serious issue that faces this city or this region, people automatically turn to UCLA.
UCLA has a major impact on the economy of Southern California and the country.
This is such a diverse place not only to interact with other people, but also to go get involved in Los Angeles. So many avenues and so many organizations, and that really allowed me to directly start working with the community.
I am a neurosurgeon.
I'm a composer.
I'm the director of the Broad Stem Cell Research Center.
I'm in the emotional transportation business.
And we all cooperate with one another, which makes the experience richer for the student.
Who has got the creativity and imagination to come up with the next killer application that's going to change this planet?
We have an impact. We're training the future generation of scientists and other creative people.
I let them know on the first day, the state of California has hired me to work for you.
I learned from them, and they learned from me.
When you acquire knowledge, it's your responsibility to give it. That is the idea. A journey for the creation of excellence.
Can you guys hear me do this? Okay. So I just want to quickly introduce myself before I bring the students up. My name's Louika Bankson, and I am the Admissions and Marketing Manager at the U.S. Studies Center at the University of Sydney. And we bring this program to UWA through our sister center called the Perth USAsia Center, which is here at UWA. Have any of you heard of the Perth USAsia Center? It's relatively new, but they are located here on campus, and we offer our programs through them for UWA students. So last year we had the UCLA Study Abroad program here, and we had a handful of students from UWA participate, and some of them are here today to just share with you about their experience briefly. So I'll invite up Xanthi to share first. She has a Bachelor of Law, Bachelor of Arts. Do we have any art students in here? Raise your hand. We have a few. Okay, and then Thesuri will come up next, and I know there's lots of science students out there, so you'll probably want to hear from her. Here, I'll leave you with this because it's a bit. I'll just attach it to you so that they can hear you. Yeah?
Can you hear me? No? Yeah. Yes? All right, so I'm Xanthi. I went last year. I'm doing law arts. I'll just start by telling you guys a little bit about what sort of things we did while we were over there. And then I'll tell you guys why I think it's worth going. So academic-wise, I took 2 units over there. So I took entertainment law and I took celebrities and social media. Entertainment law obviously goes towards my degree quite well. It was also an amazing opportunity because the professor of entertainment law is a working entertainment lawyer in LA, in Hollywood. He's worked with Dita Von Teese, Courtney Love, and a lot of other famous sportsmen and actors. And I got to work in his office for 2 days, which was an amazing experience, and it's something that doesn't just come up when you're on winter break in Perth. It's something that you really need to go and seek out internationally and get that sort of global experience. Social media was really interesting. It was all about Twitter and Facebook and how celebrities engage with us through that. That was kind of my fun unit. I just wanted to do it because I was interested in it. And I think that's a real benefit of this UCLA program, is that when you're at UWA studying, you are kind of bound by your major, and you obviously in the back of your mind want to think about what you want to do as a career, so you choose your units a lot based on that sort of thing. With this UCLA program, it's a really good opportunity for you guys to do something that might not be directly related to your career, but that you're interested in and that you won't get to try necessarily at UWA depending on your course schedule. So things like there's a Disney character unit, and there was like Spanish, that sort of thing. Those things aren't offered at UWA. There's history of rap was one of them that someone did, I think, last year. There's all sorts of really interesting things that you can do over there that you can't do at UWA, especially if you're doing a specific major heading towards a career or an assured pathway. Other than that, LA is a really amazing place. For some reason, people knock it before they try it. LA has 5 different cities and 75 different neighbourhoods in one big city. So you can go anywhere. From UCLA, you can go a 10-minute drive to Santa Monica and the Pier, which is tourist central, really fun, really sort of shopping and restaurant based. Then you can go to Little Japan, Little Korea. You can go to Westwood, which is where a lot of movie premieres are. The other side of UCLA from Westwood is Bel Air and Beverly Hills. So if you're interested in going and looking at the houses, that's an option as well. It's a really nice place if you're interested in running or jogging, that sort of thing, to go for a walk or a run around. Other than that, there's downtown. There's lots of art and culture and history in LA that people aren't aware of. They think it's just movies and cinema, but it's a lot more than that. In terms of outside LA, things available for you that you can do if you're on this trip, we went on some organised trips to San Diego, San Fran. I went to Vegas. I was under 21 at the time, and I still had a really good time. So don't think that if you're under 21 you won't have a good time. You will have a good time. There's heaps of stuff to do. I think it is worth it no matter how old you are going, because it's not all about going to Vegas and pretending that you're in Ocean's 11 or whatever it is. I also went to New York, so if that's available to you guys and that's something you want to explore, America is just so much more connected than Perth is in terms of geography. Like, you're in LA, you're in California, you can go to San Fran, you can go to San Diego, you can go to Yosemite, Malibu. There's so many places you can go literally within a 2-hour drive. So down to Mandurah or Bunbury, you could go to an entire new city with an entire new culture. Other than that, we went to a Dodgers baseball game, which is an awesome experience. There's no real baseball culture in Perth. There's a huge college sports culture in America, which we just don't have here, and it's amazing to see when you go to UCLA how much people actually love UCLA. So you guys, you think you like UWA, you think you're proud of going to UWA, wait till you go to UCLA and then see how proud you are to have gone to UCLA. I wear my jumpers and my t-shirts and my basketball jerseys. I don't even play basketball and I wear them all the time because it's just such a cool feeling to be involved, especially living on campus. You do feel so involved in the college life, and I went to frat parties, there's sorority parties, there's clubs that have parties, there's things you can do like basketball games just on the court after dinner one night, they just happen. It's just so connected and so much more of a little community than you might experience if you're a kid who doesn't live on campus at UWA. Basically, what I got out of UCLA, I'll finish off with that, what I got out of going on this trip, career-wise or in terms of like academics, I finished 2 units. I got credit towards 2 units that I otherwise would have had to do during semester or in summer semester here. So that's fast-tracked my degree, which for my law degree is really good because now I'm going to graduate early. So if you're interested in graduating early or speeding up your degree so you can take time to travel before going on to another postgraduate, it's a really good option for that. In terms of career-wise, I've got a law internship out of UCLA because of my experience interning with my professor in LA. Having that on my resume just put me not talking myself up, but I was an average person until I put UCLA on my resume, and it just puts you above having that experience, showing that you went out and took the risk of going to another country with people who you haven't met before and doing all of those things just shows that you are the type of person who people want to employ. In terms of personal growth, Fisuri was my roommate at UCLA, and you just make so many friends. Our dorm was so close by the end of it. We were celebrating people's birthdays. We all cried when we left. Like, I'm not a crying person. I don't get emotional over these sorts of things. But then I was emotional over that. Because it's with UCIT as well as UWA, you get to meet people not just from overseas, but just from even within Australia. Perth is so isolated. You don't get to meet people all the time who you can be friends with from over east. And now I've got friends over there who I'm going to visit in 2 weeks' time, and I can stay with them. And it's an option now. If I ever wanted to move to Sydney, I wouldn't be alone going to Sydney. I'd have friends over there now. And the same if I ever wanted to move over to LA or I met a girl from Brazil, I met a girl from Uzbekistan. There's places, you now have friends all around the world. And you don't think that, you think that that's so cliched, but it actually is worth thinking about in terms of what you can get out of this sort of trip. It's not just about getting 2 extra credit points on your thing. It's about actually growing as a person and maybe getting out of the little bubble that is Perth sometimes, because it can be a little isolated, just being separate from everywhere else in the world. And going to a global city like LA is just eye-opening to all the different things that are out there. So if you are worried about how it's going to work out with your course or how it's going to work out with your finances, I'd really recommend not just saying, oh no, I can't do it, but explore every option you have, because there are heaps of options that the USAsia Centre and UWA and stuff make available for you, and you always have your bank of mum or bank of dad if you need. I would probably not recommend that, but that's what my parents did for me, and now I'm in debt enormously. But just don't just say, oh, I can't afford it, or oh, it's not going to work out with my course, because you never know until you actually explore all your options. And you never know how much of a good experience it's going to be until you guys go. Me talking is not going to actually give you a good idea of how amazing it is. So I would recommend do all your research that you can before you decide yes or no, but always veer towards like, yes, I'm going to do it, yes, I'm going to expand my horizons a little bit. Right.
Okay, that should work. Can you guys hear me? Yep. Okay, so I'm Fisuri, and I went on the UCLA Study Abroad program last year, and it was definitely one of the best things that I ever did. So I know most of you guys are probably here because you want to spend part of your degree studying overseas, and standard student exchange for me didn't sound like a great idea because you've got to spend so much time away. You have the risk of extending your degree or having to drop a major. But with the UCLA Study Abroad program, all that is sort of taken care of. So it doesn't cut into standard study time at UWA. And yep, I did 2 units when I was over there. So I did one called the Fundamentals of Epidemiology, which probably wouldn't have been able to fit in here. And I also did macroeconomic theory. And I managed to get that counted towards my major. So the United States Study Center organizes all the credit approval for you. But if you want it to count towards your major, you have to apply for individual approval with your faculty. And that's pretty easy, like, not too bad. At least with the business school, it's pretty easy. I know lots of you had questions about the assured pathway, so it really doesn't have any impact on your assured pathway. If you're in the new courses, you will have to underload in subsequent semesters just because you can't end up with too many credit points. But that's a great thing, right? Right now, I'm in my 3rd year, I'm in my final year, and I'm only doing 3 units a semester, which is really, really good. Yeah, okay. So the actual program, we had 25 UWA students and 50 students from the University of Sydney. And you get to know everyone pretty soon. And there's also, obviously, heaps of Americans. So as well as Xanthi, we had 2 American students who are regular UCLA students in our dorm. And there's also lots of international students that come to summer school. So like Brazilians, Turkish people, like I met so many people, just like Xanthi said. Yeah, and you also meet quite amazing people when you travel or when you go sightseeing. So I just find this fascinating. So I met a bus driver who claimed that he drove Nancy Sinatra to the hospital when Frank Sinatra was dying. Like, that's just like crazy. It's only in LA that you find random people like that. And in San Francisco, we met this guy who took us on a free walking tour of the whole city and then insisted on taking us to this $1 dim sum place in Chinatown. And I know it's lunchtime now, you guys are probably hungry, but on the topic of food, UCLA has been ranked the second best dining experience out of all the colleges in the United States, so it's pretty good. Dining halls give you like anything you can think of every day, and yeah, it's all you can eat. And if that isn't enough, you can walk down to Westwood, which is about 10 minutes away. It's like the local suburb where UCLA is located, and you can get any type of food there, from $1 hamburgers, 23-inch pizzas, and we did quite a lot of runs to this ice cream sandwich place in the middle of the night. Okay, amidst eating all this junk food, there's also study. So the actual classes at UCLA are really interactive. Like, students are actually encouraged to talk a lot and to, put their hand up, ask questions, and sometimes you can go off topic, but it's really interesting and intellectually engaging. So I guess the point I'm getting at is, like what the video at the start said, UCLA is a pretty incredible place, and just being able to study at that level at a university where everyone studies really hard and everyone's really motivated, it's really inspiring. It's a really big privilege. So yeah, it's very, and well, UWA doesn't offer exchange to any of the University of California campuses now. So this is like a rare opportunity to actually be able to go there. And all that said about the campus, and well, it's really beautiful as well, and how good it is to study there. Whenever someone asks me what I actually did at UCLA, I always start by saying, oh, I went on this trip to San Francisco one weekend, and I went and explored LA, and I went to Hollywood, and yeah, study kind of comes right at the bottom of the list. But yeah, but I guess that's where you meet amazing people, and you travel with some people that you get to know really well. And just the casual strolls along Santa Monica Pier or Hollywood Boulevard, or going to Disneyland on July the 4th. So things like that, really amazing. And I could stand here all day and talk to you guys about all the wonderful things that I did, but I think it would be a lot better to encourage you guys to go out there and try it for yourself. So good luck and have fun.
Okay, can you guys hear me? So they pretty much did my job for me by convincing you to come on to the program. But I'll go through some of the details that you'll need to know when applying, and everything that you'll have to prepare for. Before I get too into it, I just wanted to quickly introduce some of my colleagues that are here. So Janine Robertson works with the Perth USAsia Center here at UWA, so you'll be hearing a lot from her about details of the program as we go through it. And then Tennille is from the business school, so for any of you who are Bachelor of Commerce, she'll be helping you with some of the credit approvals. So just quickly and briefly about the program. This was started between the U.S. Study Center and UCLA. We developed a partnership with them to send students over for their summer session. And this opportunity is made available to UWA students through the Perth USAsia Center. So last year, that was the first year we started bringing UWA students onto the program. The group study abroad aspect of the program is a really unique thing because it was mentioned previously that exchange with UCLA is quite limited, whereas through our study abroad program, we can send large groups of students. So last year we sent about 70 students altogether from Sydney and UWA, and this year we're planning on sending somewhere around 90 to 100 students. So it really allows you to have quite a close group of people that you'll be meeting and traveling over there with, and having friends in Sydney and meeting new people here at UWA, so it's a pretty great opportunity. It's integrated at your at-home curriculum, which means that you will get credit for the courses that you enroll in at UCLA, and we will be helping you make that happen. And you get to complete it over your winter break, so it really helps you accelerate your degree since you'll be earning those credit points outside of the regular semester time. So what are the benefits? I think it was pretty straightforward and the students already went through it, but you'll be getting invaluable international experience, which really looks great on your CV and will help you stand out above the other students when applying for internships and future jobs and everything like that. You'll get to study at one of the top universities in the world, live on campus, and really experience the American college life, which I mentioned in the previous info session. I obviously am American and went to university in LA as well, but growing up in America and watching those movies, was still even impressed when I would arrive at a college campus and realize how much it is exactly like the movies. So it's pretty exciting and surreal when you're there. You'll get credit back towards your degree. You'll get to escape the winter and go enjoy the summer sun in LA and make long-lasting friendships. So the program is a 6-week program from the 23rd of June to the 1st of August. This does overlap with the first week of second semester. You'll just need to discuss with your professors and let them know that you'll be missing that first week. But luckily for you, it's not a big week with assessments and things, so you should be okay. You'll do 2 units of study at UCLA and receive 12 credit points back towards your degree. You'll be able to choose from hundreds of courses, which I'll go over in just a second. You'll get accommodation and most meals on campus as part of the program. And you'll also have pre-departure seminars here provided for you by the Perth USAsia Center and activities in LA. So we'll be taking you to Disneyland, LA Dodgers baseball game, and some other activities like that. So the units of study will be available online on the website starting tomorrow. You have to choose from the list that's on our website. If you go to the UCLA website and look at their summer session, there are some more units available, but the list on our website are the approved units that will get you the credit back at your university. So that's very important. You can't go and choose any other units, but the ones that are on our website, or you won't get any credit for it. You have to complete 2 4-unit courses to be eligible to be studying in the US. And all those fees are included in the program package, which I'll explain later. And you'll be able to pick 4 choices on your application because the courses are subject to availability. So some will be full and we'll have to choose one of your 3rd or 4th choices on the list. They will all be credited as elective units, so we'll be working with your faculties to make sure you get that elective unit credit. But if you would like it to be a specific credit towards your major, that is something you'll have to do on your own, as Thesuri mentioned. And it's pretty easy process if you just go approach your faculty about it. You usually have to fill out a form and get that approved before going. So accommodation. Actually, before we jump into this, I just want to briefly show you the list of units on the website. So this isn't live on the website yet, but it will be tomorrow morning. And you can also access this through the Perth USAsia website. So you can go to their site, and there will be a link to all of this information. So this is all of the units that are available through UCLA summer session this year. As you can see, there are hundreds. So you can go through that and be able to pick which ones you want to apply to enroll for. I'll show you quickly how you can read more about the courses, because you can look at this list, but you might want to know what exactly does the cultural history of rap mean. So let's go quickly and I'll show you that. So this link will be on the website from that Units of Study page. So you'll be able to link to UCLA. You'll just click on Summer 2014 and you'll look up Afro-American Studies. And then you'll look under Session A. So Session C is different, so you'll make sure you look under Session A. Again, this will all be very clear on the website. And you can click the course. And then down here, you see this 9-digit unit number. If you just click that, it'll give you more of a description of what the course is about. So that's just a bit of a process to go through if you want to learn a little more about the classes. So this will go live tomorrow. And you can start looking through and deciding which ones you want to apply for. Okay, so accommodation. You'll be living on what they call the Hill at UCLA with other UCLA students and international students in the summer session. Something else that was mentioned is that a lot of the UCLA athletes end up enrolling in summer session because they failed classes outside of the semester, so they will enroll in that. So you'll have a handful of UCLA students in your classes with you. They're on-campus furnished dormitory halls. You can choose from a triple or double room share, and then a meal plan that comes with it. So we recommend doing a double room with 11 meals per week. You won't need more than that. It's quite a lot of food, and you also will be eating out a lot, most likely in Westwood. I'll quickly show you a video so you can get an idea of what it's like to live on campus.
I'm a UCLA freshman, and I'm here to introduce you to living on campus. We are here on the Hill. That's where undergraduates live at UCLA.
Here we are at the south end of the Hill. This is Deneb Plaza. The buildings here have tree or plant names, from A for acacia through H for holly. Here's Holly. It's where I live. It's the center of the universe.
Please, on the north end of the Hill is Sunset Village with places like Canyon Point and Courtside. I live in Courtside.
It's right by the tennis court.
Tennis is fun, but if that's not your game, there's a bunch of other things to do. Like an outdoor gym, or basketball, or volleyball, or swimming.
In between Deneb Plaza and Sunset Village, there's a mixture of new and updated buildings. For instance, there are the three Rebers: Reber Hall, Reber Vista, and Reber Terrace.
On the Hill, you're never very far from Central Campus, where your classes, libraries, and student services are.
More than 90% of new students live on campus. When you live here, you get oriented to campus life sooner.
The food is great, and you have a choice of 4 different restaurants here.
Hey, thank you, Kayla.
There's a lot of variety here at Feast. My favorite is all the vegetarian options.
The best is the sushi.
But I love the flatbread. You can even check your phone for the daily menu or nutritional facts.
If you want to.
This is a great place to live.
Let's go check out our room. We have an award-winning dining program, and Deneb is one of the best. Let me show you around.
The cafes are fun too.
Some people hang out in their rooms, but there's a whole student neighborhood with places to study and places to kick back. It's a lot of fun living on campus, and it can help you do better academically. Plus, there's over 5,000 events every year happening right here on the Hill.
If you visit campus, be sure to take a housing tour and see for yourself.
See you here soon.
Okay, so it's a bit of a tacky video, but it gives you an idea of what it's like to live on campus. And you can also visit the website, and they have some virtual tours through the dorm rooms, so you can see what they look like and decide what you would want. And I also meant to mention there's some lists going around, and if you haven't registered for this session, please just write your name down on that, because we'll be communicating with you about important deadlines and stuff, so you'll want to be in contact with us. Okay, so now to the part about the costs. So the costs are broken down into 3 different sections. There's the program package fees, there's the housing fees, and then there's the additional fees. So the additional costs are your flights and visa costs. The package fee is what you pay to the U.S. Study Center, and this includes your tuition, your insurances, all the administrative fees, your Bruin card, which is what you'll need to get all around campus and access food halls and things like that, and all of the pre-departure seminars that will be held through the Perth USAsia Center here at UWA, and then all of the activities in LA. So Disneyland, Dodgers game, and any other activities that we organize for you will all be included through these fees. But we allow you the flexibility to choose your own accommodation and book your own flights and everything, so you can try to get what suits you best in that area. So for accommodation, these are the options available to you. As I said before, we typically recommend a double room with 11 meals per week. I'd say you wouldn't need more than 11 meals per week. And those fees are paid directly towards UCLA housing. So those are things that we'll walk you through if you're accepted onto the program. The additional costs, as I mentioned, are for your visa, applying for the visa, airfares, and then anything that you would pay for while you're on the ground in LA. So travel and things like that. So everything on the screen is quoted in USD, and it's something that we will convert to Australian dollars just before you have to pay. So don't panic too much yet, because there are options available for funding. Through the UWA Study Abroad and Exchange Office, you can apply for OS Help loans, and they range from $1,000 to $6,500 based on certain qualifications. So if that's something that you're interested in, you can go online to their website, and it has all the details and information there for how to apply for those loans and what you need to qualify for them. You can also apply for their study abroad and their study abroad scholarships, which are valued at $1,500. So these deadlines are coming up end of April. The way the application process works, you will know if you're accepted by the first week of April. So it'll allow you plenty of time to make those decisions on how you want to fund your participation. And there are also Perth USAsia Center Awards. So we will be awarding those based off your application. So you don't have to submit a different application. We'll be assessing the ones that you submit to apply for the program and awarding those accordingly. So am I eligible? So this is open to undergraduate students only, local or international, studying arts, commerce, or science. You must have completed at least 48 credit points by the end of this semester, because we need to be able to get a transcript to see your grades. You have to have a minimum WAM of 65%, and you have to demonstrate the potential to be an outstanding ambassador for UWA and Perth USAsia Center. So the way that we judge this is through the questions in the application that ask you about why you want to come on the program, some questions about your leadership background, a few other questions in there that just really allow you to showcase how you have been a good representative of the university in past experiences. It's desirable that you have a cultural understanding and awareness of the U.S., and this can be exemplified through courses you've taken, a personal interest of keeping up with U.S. politics or news, or anything like that through your application. And you must have, or it's desirable that you have at least 12 elective credit points left in your degree, so that we can make sure you get the full credit points through this program. We will still accept applications from students who don't have room for that in their degree, but we prefer students who will be able to take full advantage of this program and get the credit that you're taking while you're there. Yep.
If it's not a credit towards your degree and you should get through that process, you're not eligible for any scholarships. It has to be for credit.
That's right. That's right. And for OS Help, you have to be earning a set number of credit points to be able to be eligible. So keep that in mind. Yep. We'll consider it. So you can still apply.
But you still have to take 2 units at UCLA.
Yes. So you will still have to participate. Thank you. You'll have to check on the website. I can't remember the exact details of how many credit points you have to be enrolled in. Is it? I think it is just 6, but don't quote me. Check on the website. Okay, so moving on. How do you apply? Oh, wait, one more thing I forgot to mention. I just saw my notes. There was an issue in the past with a student who had a criminal record when it came to applying for visas. So that isn't something that we need you to show us, but we do give you a heads up that if you do have a criminal record, we advise you to contact the U.S. consulate here in Perth and see how that is going to affect your eligibility for a student visa to go to the U.S., because we'd hate for you to apply, be accepted on the program, go through all the steps, and then get to the visa application and not get a visa. So if that applies to you, please do your research on that before applying for the program. Okay, so how to apply. So the online application form will go live tomorrow, and you'll be able to access that on the USSC website or through the Perth USAsia website, which will link you to that. You are required to pay a $400 deposit when you apply. This is just so that we can know that you're serious about participating in the program and you're not just applying just to see what happens. So that deposit will go towards your program fees. If you don't get accepted onto the program, you will get that refunded back. But it's just to show that you're serious, because we have hundreds of students who are wanting to come on this program, and we want to make sure if you're applying that you're ready and you've already thought through committing to the program. So these are all due by Monday, the 31st of March. So that gives you about a week and a half to apply and go through all of the steps. I'll quickly show you the application form, which will be online tomorrow, but I just wanted you to have a look and start thinking about it. It's pretty straightforward, just your personal details, contact information, degree. For international students, you would have to upload your test scores for English language, but you would have had to take these anyways to get into UWA, so you should have that available. Passport details, you have to upload a copy of your passport. This is where you'll have to pay the deposit to apply. There's a link here that you can just click and it'll take you through that step. And then this is where you'll select your units. I think I'm doing okay on time. So that's that. I think we're almost done here. Just one thing about the important dates. There are a lot of really key dates to coming on this program. Compulsory pre-departure sessions that we set up to enroll you. We set up to apply for your visas and payment deadlines and everything. I'll quickly just show you the page on the website that has all of this information. You really need to make sure that you can attend all of these different sessions and be available for them to come onto the program. And you have to be available for the full program dates, so June 23rd to the 1st of August. No excuses, because it's an intensive course. If you miss anything, then you get really behind. So you'll have to be there for the full course. Okay, so everything goes live tomorrow. Please read through the program conditions and guidelines on the website before applying to make sure that everything works for you. Everything is due by the 31st of March, and there will be a spot on the website where you can enter any inquiries about the program, and we'll get back to you about it. And that's it. Are there any questions that people want to ask before you go? Or if you have anything, you can just come down here and talk to me if you want. Thank you.